Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I am Zach, your host here on the Yo Bro Nation YouTube channel, and this is your review for Zombieland Double Tap, a movie that came out just this past year, October 2019, a movie that I feel like I may be a little overdue with actually recording, but here it is, nonetheless, here to write it into the stars or whatever, I don't know. How's everyone doing today? Happy Tuesday. Follow us on our social media. You guys see it. It's down in the description below. I'm not going to plug everything. I am telling you what. Look, it's background. This is take number 2. Unfortunately, today was not a one-take day. But I saw the first movie back in 2012, shortly after I got out of the Army. And I'm not going to lie. I fell in love with the first movie. It was a sight to behold. Something so original and different on the whole zombie genre as a whole. It was really at the beginning when the whole zombie craze started, right? But I remember going and seeing this movie when I first exited out of the Army, and I loved it. I watched it daily, almost, for about a month or two straight. But, excuse me. But I remember the story and how it wasn't as much about the zombies as it was about the people who were in the movie. You know, you had Jesse Eisenberg, you had Woody Harrelson, you had, Columbus, Tallahassee, Wichita, Little Rock. It was these 4 people, and it was their story, how they became like their own little family. So I actually plan on doing, excuse me, a review for that movie sometime in the very near future, so that way I have both on here. But I was really looking forward to seeing this, and I wanted to see this back in October when it first came out. Unfortunately, things just didn't go the way I wanted to. I opted to see Joker instead. That review is up here in that iCard next to me. But I finally got to sit down with COVID happening and redoing the channel. I'm ready, more than ready, to talk about this movie, and I was super hyped about this movie. So now, me and Susie sat down last night and we watched it, and I gotta be honest, it's not a bad movie. It's really, really not a bad movie. Of course, Zombieland 2, directed by the same director. Gotta go to my trusty notes. Directed by Ruben Fletcher. He was the director of the first movie. Of course, you got your returning cast: Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Abigail Breslin, all of them returning to play Wichita, Little Rock, Tallahassee, and Columbus. But you have Zoe Deutch. I honestly don't know how to pronounce her name, and I'm kind of embarrassed about it. But her as Madison in this movie, found ourselves at points saying, yeah, she should have just got shot. She should have done, she was annoying, but in a endearing way. You know what I mean? Like, I did not find myself hating the character. I can't speak for Susie and how she felt. But personally, I was entertained with her. I actually found her to be lovable. And I found myself like, yeah, she's funny in a really, I don't know. And by the way, this is not a spoiler review. We had Rosario Dawson in it playing Nevada for a little bit, and her character as like a side plot to go up with like Tallahassee. That was really good. They were such a cute. Yeah, I'm trying not to spoil anything. Okay, mild spoilers in this movie review. Mild spoilers. I'll put that in the video title. Mild spoilers. I'm not going to get into the plot though. The main plot. And then you had Luke Wilson and Thomas. Is it Middleditch? I don't know. Luke Wilson's playing Albuquerque, who's essentially Tallahassee. And it's freaking funny to see the two play off of each other. And then you get Flagstaff, who is basically Columbus. And just the interactions with these guys in the short time that they're in the movie is freaking funny. I laughed my tail off several times. Um, and then so the whole premise of the movie is basically they're celebrating they're celebrating Little Rock's 18th birthday. She's just turned 18. You know, they're all getting older. I assume the timeline is somewhere around the 10 years since the first movie. I'm assuming around the 9 to 10 year mark. But, you know, they've been together this whole time. You see them in the White House, and, you know, they're just trying to live life as a family. But, you know, as all families do, they have their own little struggles. They're having their own little issues. But the whole thing is them leaving to go find Little Rock. She's taken off with a hippie in Zombieland. Zombieland has a hippie named Berkeley. And seeing it explained to Woody Harrelson and his reactions, seeing Tallahassee's reactions to all of this is freaking fantastic. But just so seeing that being like the B plot, sort of the A plot is actually about the zombie. Well, actually, okay, the A plot is that, but the B plot is about the zombies, and you have a C plot and a D plot. But sorry, I'm getting all confused here. But just seeing like them back together was nice, even though you don't see Little Rock for the majority of the movie. But Columbus and Wichita and Tallahassee, their interactions, and then you throw in Madison to add to that. And they do try to replicate a lot of things. They still talk about zombie kill of the week. They still start talking about, you know, the different rules. You actually have Flagstaff and Columbus. They each have rules, right? And they're talking about their different rules, and they don't focus in on the rules as much. And I think that would probably be one of the few things that I would probably gripe about. That the rules were important. But, you know, you're just seeing them back together, and then you add in Nevada. She was a different layer, an interesting character, and seeing her interactions, especially with Tallahassee, it was good. It kind of had that feel, sort of, and you could see them even to just how they are when they're driving down the road, how they are cutting from shot to shot, seeing the different interactions with the different characters. It's trying to capture that, and they even try to capture the comedy, but it just, if I have gripes, it wasn't exactly the same. I definitely will say I like the first one better, for sure, because it just seems more organic. This one seems like they're trying to do a retread on a lot of the same things that they did in the first one. Not to say that it's necessarily bad and it doesn't work at points, but there are points where it's just kind of like, you did that before, could have done it better. And this is very, very minor spoiler. They have a scene where they're talking about Uber, but not actually being Uber. There's a lot of references to modern things, selfies and stuff like that, that didn't exist at that point, especially at the end. There's a cameo in this movie that's freaking great. And I apologize for the lighting. The lighting is all off. I have to fix that. This is still a work in progress. I apologize. But yeah, there's a little cameo. Just the movie overall was very good. And there's very few things that I really feel bad. And I heard a lot of people when this first came out really trashing this movie. It's not horrible. I really did enjoy this movie quite a bit. I did laugh, genuinely laughed a lot during this movie. So it's not a bad movie. It's not the same as the first one, I guess. I feel like I'm talking like a whole lot of nothing. But the direction is still really good. The shots are still really good. The music in the movie is very similar to the first one. You do get a lot of character progression through the writing of this movie, but it still didn't feel the same to me as the first one, and kind of left me feeling like after seeing the first movie, I was like, yes, I want a second one. I want to see the conclusion of this story. I want to see where they go with this. And this one, when it was over, I didn't have that same feeling. I was like, okay, that's a good way to wrap it up. All right, cool. And after you get through the journey of the movie and the teases, they tease several times something might happen to a character that and it's like, no. So I didn't feel like there was any finality to it, but I was also left being like, okay, whatever. Where, like I said in the first one, I really wanted to see a sequel. I don't feel that way after this one. I'm like, cool, 2 movies, done. If they want to do a trilogy, I'll see it. Because I did enjoy the movie, but I don't feel like I need another movie. I don't feel like it has to be a trilogy. So I don't know. That's me trying not to spoil anything, which seemed really hard. Maybe at some point I'll do a double shot. Catch that pun? Well, I'll do a spoiler review for both movies or something. But I have a couple more reviews coming up this week. I'm actually going back to movies that I haven't seen yet. So I've already reviewed the first one, which was The Boy. I'm going to review The Boy 2 Brahms. So give me your strength, everybody, that I can get through that review. So thank you guys so very much for joining me. This was your review for Zombieland Double Tap. I'm going to do the first one at some point. So thank you guys. Have a great day. Thanks for the review. And remember, join the nation. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.